First time filming on my own, just arrived at a hotel in Hyderabad, Sindh province. Still expensive hotel with like a very world-class service, which is not what I need, but it's the only hotel in this city that allows foreigners in. And I was escorted here by police, so I didn't really have any other option anyway. But yeah, this is what my room looks like. Pretty nice. Just gonna order and buy some laundry service to clean these up for further days ahead. The next day I decided to head out and explore the city now that I was there. I was constantly with a police escort and there were some limitations as to where I could go. But the first place we went to was the Sindh Museum, which is a place I wanted to visit anyway. As Karachi culturally is more of a melting pot, sort of like New York in US. It has all different kinds of ethnicities from all over Pakistan and nearby countries. Whereas in Hyderabad, the Sindhi culture is accentuated a little bit more. And Hyderabad was the capital of Sindh a couple times anyway. So that's why the museum is here, and I was eager to learn more about this culture.
When you see or when you take a photo of a woman here, and still today, they will kill you.
Yes. Yeah, but is there some influence from the Farsi in Sindh?
No,
Was it part of what it was?
Persian films from the Sindh has made. There was no influence of Persians.
Was it not part of Sassanid?
Not at all.
Okay.
Next.
Yes, I was wrong here. Even though Sindh region has been ruled by different kinds of empires, it was never ruled by Persians. At first there was Alexander the Great, and then there was a period of Arab rule, then there was a period of independent Sindh rule, different dynasties by different clans. Then there was a period of Mughal rule, and then there was another Sindh dynasty, after which the British came into the picture, and then from there we got Pakistan.
The King Akbar Badshaह Bahadur Shah Zafar, King of Sindh
The Sindh Empire.
Empire. Yeah.
Is this when it started and when it ended?
Yes, it's dead.
Is 1556
Is this when the British came?
British, 1857.
Dharam, Tam, Sindhi house, father, mother, baby, the family, Sindhi. Seller, is fine to sell you. Okay? Mughal.
Would you say that Balochistan and KPK are the same as Punjab, that they're more...
Well, I can say for the Balochistan that there are many other religions in Balochistan, but KPK is totally Muslim. So when
Okay.
95% of the population of KPK is Muslim.
Is Sindh the most secular part of...
Yes, you can say that.
Chauhan
And always the
ये सुमरा दिखाया इनका this problem related this Sindhi shawl, man is has shawl. It's shawl, Sindhi shawl. Its name is Kes.
Tess.
Shawl.
Yeah, I've seen these before. Yeah.
Weaving then.
So do you use it to make this one, for example?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Farasi Hindi,
Farasi.
English the carpet.
Farasi is carpet.
Carpet, carpet.
Okay.
Not the Persians, but this is.
How long have jewelry been made in Sindh?
So it has been 5,000 years.
5,000 years.
5,000 years.
Oh yeah, Makli. This is what gravestones look like.
Bengal district. जीवन अलग अलग में नाल आते हैं तो बेंगल में के चलना के हां ही छोकरी लिखा है कि अनमैरिड थी हां लिखा ला
Pai?
it's Sindhi
Charpai? Yes.
it's the same
You are
Same.
made.
Yes.
Made. Carpenter made charpai.
as village life and
Village life.
the agriculture and people
This is our village.
people
House
live
looks
village
like it.
looks like
The tree of cotton. Kapas. Cotton.
Okay.
Tree of cotton.
The
wheat straw the same this is spout and wheat straw
oh wait, yeah.
wheat straw
In Tibet, how are the strings made? From which material?
So it was made when I told you this is from the different leaves of the trees.
Oh,
And
dates.
Yes, and this is also the same material. From this material they made this.
What is it?
It is also one of the
Sarah
sarang,
अच्छा चला
Wife helping.
So Sindhi language in writing it was taken from the Sanskrit. Have you ever seen
Sanskrit, of course.
So and these languages like Urdu, Arabic and Farsi, these were taken from Sindhi.
हिंदी लैंग्वेज की पहले
And they were evoluted like evolution. They were evoluted from the Sindhi. The Arabic, Urdu and Farsi they were evoluted from Sindhi.
Oh, so it started from Sindhi.
Yes.
Okay.
These three languages started from the Sindhi.
Okay. I didn't know that.
these are Sindhi cultures
Yes, I have one.
It kind isn't it of the files in there?
ना भी सही है ये पंहिंजे मुल्क में भी ना सही सुठाई गई
I need to try to do this on my own.
Yes. This is like
ट्रेडिशनल
Rode the motorcycle for about 20 minutes to get here on the outskirts of the city. In this river. But yeah, what an absolutely massive river this is. The river has changed its course quite many times. This is not where it originally was, to my understanding. So Hyderabad itself, even though it's a very big city, it's not a very old city. It was built in 18th century after the river changed its course to flow through here. And I guess it's big today because in present-day Pakistan, it's at a very good location. But yeah, the river itself, so massive, has given so much life, even in the village of Moya where I was. There are canals flowing near the village, or the city as they call it. And it all stems from this river right here. This one body of water has given so much life in this part of the world, and for such a long period of time, for thousands and thousands of years. I wonder how far this goes. After checking out the Indus River and getting some cash, we went on to what I was told is the longest bazaar in all of Pakistan. It was very interesting to see how categories changed after a while. Eventually, we arrived at a shop at Officer's Friend and we had some chai inside. So that was the city in a nutshell. And just to clear the confusion, some of you may know that there is a Hyderabad in India as well, which is actually even larger than this one in Pakistan. But yeah, there is no direct correlation between these two cities and why they were named what they were named. The naming stems from Arabic, and it makes sense as both of these cities were ruled by Muslims for a long period of time. And naturally, there's a lot of influence because of it. But yeah, the name itself, Hyderabad, is consists of two parts. The first part, Hyder, is Arabic and it means lion, and then the suffix abad is Persian and it means town of or city of, denoting something. So in this case, Hyderabad means town or city of lion. The reason behind the particular naming in both cities was because of the rulers at the time, the local rulers at the time, but there was no direct correlation. But yeah, with that short explanation out of the way, I'll give a couple words on Hyderabad, Pakistan. It's a city that I really enjoyed during my brief time there. For someone that comes from Finland, all of the places in Pakistan have been very hectic, including Hyderabad naturally. But I would say it was still a little bit calmer than Karachi, as it's even though Hyderabad is also has over 1 million inhabitants, it's still much smaller than Karachi in comparison. And I also like that Hyderabad kind of felt more traditional and historic, old school than Karachi in a way. That's just the kind of vibe that was radiated to me. That's the way I felt about the city. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. But with that being said, it was time to move on from Hyderabad. I really saw the main things that there was to see in Hyderabad, and I was not really let into random residential areas or anything like that. And they were not gonna let me go to any riskier areas of Pakistan either, like Baluchistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. I mean, you need a special permit to visit those regions anyway. I was actually told by some locals there that it's dangerous and that I shouldn't be there. Personally, I felt comfortable there at all times. I had already accumulated a little bit of experience of traveling to different places, enough experience to where I felt like my risk tolerance was high enough to sort of level up and go to a place like Pakistan. And naturally, as a result, I gained more experience, but I don't think it was that. Still very much a beginner in all of this. It's just that my gut feeling was good throughout my time in Hyderabad, and at no point I felt like something was off. But I'm not going to be arrogant about it. I was a foreign visitor there, visiting for the very first time, and the locals there have been living there for their entire lives. So obviously, their words have to account for something, and obviously, there has to be some kind of a reason why they felt the need to have an armed policeman accompany me in Hyderabad during my entire time there, despite my soft initial objections to this. But I did know all of this coming in. I knew that this was the practice in much of Pakistan outside of Karachi. I knew that this was their duty and that they have a separate branch for this just to deal with stupid tourists like myself. And I did end up befriending the police officer anyway, but despite that, I still felt uncomfortable. First of all, just because of having somebody take care of me in such a way, and second of all, because at the end of the day, this is not my style. To have somebody drive me around to places, help me with everything, with the language and arrangements, and protect me if need be, if there was, God forbid, a situation which will have called for it. But these are the rules and customs of the country, and I have to respect that. And this did not influence my decision making in any way. This was just one of the many thoughts I had in my head during my time there. But yet the plan was to move on from Hyderabad, as there was not much else left to see in the city. And that's exactly what you're seeing on the screen right now. I resumed to load random coordinates to get my next destination. But this time I only used large generated numbers to get a larger maximum radius for the randomly generated coordinates, just so that I would get destinations which are a bit further away from my current location in Hyderabad. So either another large city in Pakistan where the locals police will let me go to, or a completely different country. And I did this for a while until I got Armenia, surprisingly enough, as it's a pretty small country and not that close to Pakistan. So the likelihood to get a country like Armenia was very low, but I promised that this was just a coincidence. And it's definitely a funny coincidence, as Pakistan is the only country that does not recognize Armenia as a sovereign independent country. But yeah, I was excited for my next course, as it's another corner of the world I haven't been to, and I have some roots from there. But that also meant saying goodbye to Pakistan. Even though I really enjoyed it there, the atmosphere and the hectic nature of the country was definitely sapping away my energy. But that's just my inexperience. Pakistan is just a very different country from my own. And once I will return to Pakistan and gain more experience, I will get more acclimatized and more used to the culture shock that Pakistan brings. But I really enjoyed it, but for now it was time to move on to a different place, and that started with me taking a last ride with a trusted police officer to the train station, and where we said our goodbyes, and I boarded the train back to Karachi, where I will still have one more day before my flight to Armenia. I met a nice bunch of Punjabis who had been to northern mountains recently. Show me.
My group.
Is that where are
group.
you?
Uh,
Ah,
I do hiking. I'm doing hiking.
yes.
Before 2 to 3 years now.
My God, finally. Should have just taken the bus instead. Here we are again, back at the same joint in Karachi. You know, I was actually never even meant to stay at this hotel. It was meant to be more like a ghost booking, but here we are, and I chose to book this hotel again because I liked it, and this is like the only part of Karachi, from what it seems like the only part of Karachi that is not absolutely batshit crazy. It's only slightly crazy. By crazy, I just mean hectic. Just a lot of everything. Well, yeah, I already booked my flight to my next destination. But the flight leaves tomorrow at the evening, so there's an entire day in Karachi pretty much for tomorrow. All went well, and I went to bed looking forward to tomorrow. But then I was met by the thing that unfortunately a lot of foreigners have had to meet while in South Asia. From yesterday, I was sick for the third day or the fourth day, and I was hoping that the symptoms would go away to in order to not to compromise me and my ability to travel. And my wish was granted. But monkey paw, I got this hotel that evening. Everything was fine. I went to bed at a normal time. Then I woke up a couple hours later and I have food poisoning. For that was the only real fear about this country that I had. I hate the feeling of having food poisoning and just how it completely kind of sucks out your juices, and that's exactly what it has done. I have been very fortunate that the symptoms they were very aggressive, but only lasted for about 10 hours or so. So around noon, I was not having any stomach problems anymore. No more diarrhea, no more throwing up, especially after drinking something. So all of the fluids are being sucked in now, fortunately. Good thing that I packed electrolyte tablets to add in the water, just to make sure my salt balance is okay. But with that being said, even though I feel fine now, I could barely get any sleep, and even now I have not been able to sleep. I'm just at like a very exhausted state where I'm not even able to sleep, and I'm contemplating. I would have to leave in around 3 hours to catch my flight to Dubai and then Yerevan. Should I go or not? As much as I love the people of this nation, how kind and helpful they are. I mean, I asked for a lot of water. I asked for 3 liters of water, and they brought it to me. And they brought bananas as well, and toilet paper. Like absolute saints at this hotel. Showing any of this is absolutely demeaning, but when I film and make these videos, I don't want there to be any filter. If I praise something or speak highly of something, I really mean it, and I want to show these positive things, just like I want to show instances when things go to shit. Figuratively, well, in this case, literally. But anyway, when I mention of bad things, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm blaming something or someone. In this case, I did take the basic precautions, only used bottled water, followed the golden rule of cook it, boil it, peel it, or forget it. But with that being said, I did drink milk straight out of a fucking camel, so it was probably my fault, let's be honest. Or it could also be something as simple as my gut bacteria not being used to the local kind of bacteria. But yeah, that's the thing with my style of traveling, that I often get into unwanted situations because of it. But just like with positive situations, I want to show everything in my videos. I mean, as much as I want to say I don't, I probably do have some prejudices. But despite that, I try to have as objective videos as possible to try to paint the countries or the places I visit in the most realistic manner. And I think that my style of traveling is inherently like that, because I go to random coordinates. I don't go to hand-picked places. So in a way, I show the country how the country looks like on average, geographically speaking. But regardless, I feel absolutely exhausted. I don't have energy for anything right now, and I'm contemplating what to do, because despite the people of this nation being so nice, I do want to get out now. At this point, I want to leave. And though I really like the people, all of the aspects in this country just suck my energy, to put it that way. Yeah, I'll see how I feel in a few hours and then go from there. Karachi traffic is absolutely insane. Yeah, I have to walk the same route I walked when I left the airport. I just did it for fun the first time, but it turns out I actually have to do this. But okay, the airport is over there in the distance. I have like 1.5 hours by the time I get there. I hope that's enough. Okay, here we are.
الجهة الشاغرة في الصفوف الأمامية للشراء إذا خدمة الضيافة بدءا بالوجبات التي
Otherwise, check out the city, but because of my condition, I decided to stay at a hotel. Just to enjoy the guts. Yeah, this is good. This will do nicely. It's 6:38 a.m.